Friends of Formula One, Ferrari has just delivered something truly impressive at Barcelona, and it instantly reminds you of those iconic perforated wheels that Mercedes introduced back in 2018. This innovation is exactly what explains the SF26's dominance in the extreme heat of Momo, because by working closely with BBS Japan, Ferrari engineers created brake drums featuring an internal air gap designed to channel fresh cooling air, along with dedicated air intakes and newly designed forged magnesium wheels. Every element was carefully engineered to isolate the brakes from the tire and reduce thermal transfer to an absolute minimum, and the outcome was remarkable, with almost zero tire degradation even as track temperatures reached 52 degrees. At the same time, Autorare reports that Ferrari's first engine upgrade, initially scheduled for Spa, has now been brought forward to Austria, introducing key changes to both the combustion chamber and turbocharger, while Wolff's earlier pre-season comments are beginning to sound less like cautious statements and more like a prediction coming true, when he said he would not want to allow a situation where one team could suddenly jump ahead of the entire field. If you want to stay updated on everything related to Ferrari and Formula One, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you never miss anything. And now let's move straight into the full breakdown, because the Spanish Grand Prix produced a result that was extremely difficult to anticipate, as over 66 laps on a scorching circuit Ferrari experienced almost no tire degradation at all. And the key to that performance takes us back to the concept behind the perforated wheels Mercedes used in 2018, before they were banned a year later. To be clear, Ferrari is not using the exact same system, but the philosophy behind it is very similar, as the Mercedes W09 featured small holes drilled into the wheels to dissipate heat and cool the brakes by drawing air through the rim, which also had a direct effect on tire temperatures, and since excessive heat leads to degradation, controlling that factor is absolutely crucial in Formula One. Until last season, regulations forced all teams to use identical wheel designs, but with the rules now opened up, Ferrari quickly took advantage, and according to Motorsport.com Italia, engineers in Maranello worked in detail alongside BBS Japan to develop new brake drums with an internal channel that guides fresh air between two carbon walls through specifically designed intakes, ensuring precise ventilation, while the wheels themselves were redesigned to disperse heat efficiently and prevent it from transferring into the tire. It is no surprise that Lochser played a major role in this concept, as Ferrari's technical director previously worked with Michelin and Mercedes, including during the 2018 season when those perforated wheels first appeared, and the experience gained during that period clearly helped him design a system that effectively insulates the brakes from the tire, significantly reducing heat transfer during races. In addition, Ferrari introduced a dedicated airflow channel that actively cools both the brakes and the tire, and although the solution differs in execution from Mercedes' earlier design, the core idea remains identical, which is to prevent overheating and drastically reduce tire degradation over a full race distance. This is exactly what we saw with the SF26 in Barcelona, where Ferrari managed the tires with incredible efficiency while rivals struggled and wore theirs out, and this hidden work around the wheel assembly is further enhanced by the French brake discs Ferrari introduced from the Japanese Grand Prix onward, which operate within a higher temperature range of 900 to 1,200 degrees compared to the 900-degree limit of the previous Brembo units. Less heat to extract means less heat transferred into the tire and ultimately less degradation, and that is the true secret behind Ferrari's performance in 2026, because this is what Formula One is really about. Tiny details that are completely invisible to the naked eye yet make a decisive difference on track when teams are fighting for mere tenths of a second. And while most attention was focused on the front wing and the floor, Ferrari's real breakthrough was hidden deep inside the rear wheels of the SF26 from the very beginning. Now shifting to the power unit side, the major headline is that Ferrari's development program is moving forward at a faster pace than expected, as the first upgrade step was originally planned for the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa, but internal optimization work within Maranello's engine department has allowed engineers to bring that timeline forward, with a new target now set for the Austrian Grand Prix in Spielberg, where the update will focus on two highly specific areas: the combustion chamber and the turbocharger. Looking at the combustion chamber, the objective is to improve efficiency at higher engine speeds while reducing energy losses under heavy load by making subtle geometric refinements to the chamber shape, the piston crown, and the way the air and fuel mixture is prepared before ignition, while on the turbocharger side the change is extremely precise, involving adjustments to the number of compressor blades and the angle of the impeller while keeping the overall turbo dimensions unchanged. A deliberate choice because Ferrari's hot engine philosophy relies on a compact turbo layout that allows more efficient cooling packaging compared to its rivals. Autorare confirms that this upgrade will be relatively minor overall, with a truly significant power increase expected to come with the second development token after the summer break, and according to Matteo Bobbi that step could arrive around Monza where maximum power is absolutely critical. And when the Federation was still finalizing the ADO system, Toto Wolff made a comment that at the time sounded like routine caution, saying he would not want to introduce a mechanism that allows a single team to suddenly leap ahead of the competition, which was a reasonable concern because the system was designed to help struggling manufacturers recover progressively rather than deliver a single upgrade capable of completely reshuffling the competitive order overnight, yet that remark largely went unnoticed at the time. Then Barcelona changed the picture completely, as Hamilton qualified 4/10 faster than Russell through the middle sector, through the corners, on a lap where he was managing energy instead of pushing flat out, only to lose that advantage on the straight where the Ferrari engine simply could not match Mercedes in raw power, with Russell himself admitting that Hamilton should have taken pole position and Wolff publicly agreeing with that assessment, which clearly shows that the chassis is already operating at the required level and that the only thing separating Ferrari from consistent race-winning pace across all circuits is a deficit of roughly 20 horsepower, and if even half of that gap is closed at the Red Bull Ring, then the Ferrari, which already dominates in the corners, will stop losing time on the straights, and Wolff's earlier warning will begin to sound far less like caution and far more like a prediction unfolding in real time before everyone watching. The ongoing disagreement between the Federation and Red Bull regarding the ADO parameters could still complicate the situation, but Maranello remains confident that the matter will eventually be resolved in their favor, and all signs point to Austria becoming a defining moment for Ferrari. Because the Red Bull Ring shares a similar energy demand profile with Canada, where Mercedes previously held a clear engine advantage, yet the SF26 that appeared in Barcelona is effectively a different machine, combining a chassis that excels through corners with superior tire management driven by the new wheel concept and now the arrival of the first engine upgrade right at Spielberg, meaning that if Hamilton can replicate his Barcelona performance but with additional power available, the statement sent to Mercedes and the rest of the Formula One paddock will be overwhelming and impossible to ignore. As Wolff's earlier words edge closer to reality, and Hamilton, even at 41 years old, finds himself with a rare opportunity to take a car that is already the best in the corners and finally equip it with an engine capable of competing on every type of circuit, proving that this championship battle is far from decided.